What is up, No Pants Gang, and welcome to the first episode of the Brian Ford 3-Sport Career Mode, the Savior of Detroit, as we are starting off with some spring training highlights. Like I said in the intro, we will be starting with the NFL season. That was where we will start our career, but I just thought I'd give you guys some spring training highlights just so you can see a little bit of some baseball before we have our long break of football and basketball before we go into any more baseball. So as you can see here, we get some guy thrown out at the plate from center field. What a throw from Brian Ford, as we would end up hitting 371 through the spring. We played in all 29 or so games. I'm not sure how many there are, but it was right around that number. We played in all of them. Usually got pinch hit for right around the 6th inning, letting some other guys, get into the lineup, as here we are drilling a deep double into right center field, as we easily stand up there as our team, or actually this is a triple, as we round second and slide into third. I don't even remember where my own highlights are, but we would end up going I think we went 25-4 or something stupid like that in the spring. And I mean, I had a pretty okay spring, but nowhere near enough to be leading the team to that kind of number. Only scored 9 runs, so I was definitely not the main product of our offense. I mean, I got on base a lot, but just wasn't driven in a lot. As like I said, we did bat 371 for the spring. Had 9 RBIs, 8 doubles, hit 1 triple, had 1 walk, but we did get hit by 2 pitches. Had an on-base percentage of .391 and a .517 slugging. Just scored 9 runs. As here we are hitting a double off the wall. Wasn't sure what happened to my audio or to my video for the original clip. Here as we get this perfect bat sound right there. So I thought I'd throw that in for you guys as we drill that one into left center. The bat sounds in MLB are absolutely incredible, especially in the show 23. As I don't know if you could hear that lawnmower drive by, but hopefully you didn't. As here we are ripping one down the third baseline. We're going to hold up at first here, as we did have, like I said, a really good team spring overall. Akil Baddoo hit really well behind us in that 2-hole. As here we are driving another one into the gap, as that one's just going to get down for a single. As we lead the Yankees here 3-1 in the 6th inning of this game. Well, yeah, we'll be flying through the highlights mostly for the baseball season, trying to get through relatively quickly. I mean, this is about 26 games worth of highlights chopped up into very small proportions, and I think baseball's only going to cover about 7 or 8 minutes of this intro video. As here we are facing off against Aaron Nola and drilling one through the infield on the right side and getting in for a single. As we did user Brian Ford for every inning of every game, as you can see us throwing one in here from center, little relay throw into second, and then to the plate for the out. As we didn't have any errors in the outfield through spring training, but it is definitely not very hard to play center field. Really didn't have much of an opportunity for a diving catch. As here you see one of our 2 stolen bases for the spring, as we just get in there. Luckily got the call here from the umpire, as we did have a stolen base percentage of .667, meaning we were 2 for 3 with our stolen bases. As here we are blooping a single into the outfield. As I did choose to do the dynamic difficulty for MLB, I feel like that's definitely the best one to make the difficulty to where I'm not incredible, to where I'm not definitely struggling, to where I'll get moved back down to AAA or something like that. We did get the difficulty moved up twice, and I'm sure it'll move up just a little bit more during the beginning of the regular season, but like I said, this is definitely not a series where I'm going to win an MVP or be an all-star even in the first couple of seasons for any sport. Maybe we'll get lucky and make an all-rookie team in one of the sports, but I want to come in and make an immediate impact, but I don't want to be winning any MVPs my rookie year. I mean, if I wanted to be an absolutely dominant player, I wouldn't have started at a 75 overall. I really want this to be a series where you can watch me grow, not only as we get almost caught up in a rundown here, but watch me grow not only as a player, but as somebody who's getting better at these games. I mean, I am not a pro by any means at any of these games. The game I'd consider myself the best at would probably be NBA, and that might be the game where we're going to have the most trouble, because I just simply do not know how to score on NBA 2K23 without kind of cheesing the system a little bit. As funny enough, the team that's been the worst in history for Detroit would have to be the Lions, and they're probably in the best shape as of right now, as we drive a ball into the gap here once again. I mean, I was hammering these gaps during spring training and just easily getting into second with that 84 speed. I think it went down one because it was preset to 85 for all the sports. Like I said, physical attributes for all the games are the same, so all of our strength, speed, stamina, durability, I mean, all of that will be the same throughout all of the games. And then, like I said in the intro, if we do get hurt, we will be taking off some durability points for that body part in the games that allow it, which I think the only one of that is 2K, and then just taking it off in general for Madden and MLB, as we do hose piece somebody there at third, as it wasn't quite the double play since it was just a standard throwing out. We didn't get the catch or anything like that, but still a good throw. As here we are belting one into deep left, as this one would actually get down just in front of the wall, and we're going to pick up an RBI. As we're actually, it seems like we're trailing a lot of these games, so I swear we won here we are leading the same game in the 9th, as we won all of these games but 2, as that one just does bloop in as we try to go to second and are forced to go back. Not sure why they didn't throw us out right there, but hey, we'll take it. As here we are in a game against the Rays, dropping one over the first baseman's head and just in front of the right fielder, as we are going to get into some live commentary that I did for the last couple of games for spring training here in a moment. But that's just kind of me experimenting with what you guys want to see, what you guys want to hear from this series. If you want me to do a lot more live commentary, we can definitely do that, and I'll just edit it up that way. Or if you just want me to do the whole voiceover thing afterwards and kind of talk more about the series and what we did. So here we are picking up another nice double. It feels like we got an extra base hit almost all the time, as then we do get caught up, but do make it back to second. As here we are in our last game against the Blue Jays before we head to live commentary, right back up the middle for another single for Brian Ford. We were really just hitting the cover off the ball here in spring, but I will now take you to some live commentary and let you get in on that action. All right, here's the 2-2 from Montes. Oh, get down. Bloop, bloop, bloop. That's a single, baby. You'll love to see it. We're taking off for second, and we are in there easily. Easy stolen base there for B. Ford. Because I haven't had much of an opportunity to steal many bases so far this year, because a lot of the time when I do go, the batter will hit the ball since we only have action pitches or whatever, but we easily swipe second right there. Oh, get down. Another bloop single. You'll love to see it. I don't think we can turn to head for second, but blooping them in so far this game. We're still looking for our first home run, and there it is! A slider left up by Soraka, and Brian Ford goes yard. A no-doubter into left. 5 or more seconds of hang time. That one went 419, as I've had a couple get close. But you cannot hang a slider that bad against anybody, as he absolutely belts his first home run in a Tigers uniform. Let's see that one more time in the replay. As you can see, just leaves it up right near the letters. And that one is gone for Brian Ford. We'll be seeing ya. Jesus. 110 almost off the bat. As that one is ripped into left field as well. Had a chance of getting out, but it bounces pretty much at the warning track. And we are going to easily stroll into second with another extra base hit here for Brian Ford, as we are cruising against the Braves. As that will just about do it for spring training highlights, as now we get into a scrimmage, inter-squad scrimmage here with the Pistons. There's no NBA preseason, and it wouldn't let me player lock during an actual scrimmage in practice, so I just decided to do a little blacktop scrimmage here, as you can see us getting down the lane for a layup. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the live commentary compared to the voiceover. I'm going to try to do a nice mix of the two as we knock down a 3 right here with Brian Ford. But I'm going to try to do a nice mix of the two during the actual seasons and everything, as we just blow by old man Bogdanovich right here. But yeah, be sure to let me know which guys you like better, as I also need suggestions for background music to have during these highlights. I don't really want to play the same couple of songs over and over again, and I don't really know which ones are best, as here is Ivy getting a steal, and there's the team running the floor, drops it into us. Wanted a dunk right there, but a lay-in nonetheless is fine, as we have quite a few early points here for our squad as we are in the warm-ups, as we drop a nice pass here to Duran, who just dunks it home. As our bigs were just dunking everything. Stewart, Bagley, Duran, and Wiseman, both teams were just dunking everything. As here we see Bagley hit a 3 for the game, as we actually did just go to 15. I pretty much ran out of time, as we are now going to jump to NFL preseason highlights. Sorry for the lack of NBA content in this video. I figured this NBA probably needed the least content during the preseason because that's probably the game that we'll get the most highlights from during the regular season. As we were actually jumping to week 2 of the preseason, we got in for about 1 snap in week 1 and then only played 2 quarters here in week 3. As we're actually going to jump to some live commentary for the last game of the season. As we do pick up a fumble here, what I'd like to say, as soon as another player gets the ball, I just put the controller down, so that's not me controlling, but we will now go to the live commentary. So here we are in our last preseason game against the Steelers, already 2-0, although I've only played 3 quarters through the preseason so far. Okay, not sure why I didn't tackle Najee Harris right there, as he's going to go all the way down to the 36-yard line, as I pushed X to try to dive at him and just kind of dove forward. So I'm not really sure what that's all about, as we can see us miss one more time right here. See, we are back on defense after the offense did nothing. See if we can get the Steelers on a stop right here, as we get a good hit there on Kenny Pickett. That may be, or not Kenny Pickett, George Pickens. That may be our first tackle of the preseason. Steelers kind of marching now, as we need to be able to stop this offense, or our offense can get back in the game. There's a play fake to Najee, as he does a weird little move out to the right and then gets drilled by Brian Ford, as we lay Najee out right there. The eye, whatever you call this, is it's going to be a handoff for Najee, as he goes right through us and into the end zone. Touchdown Steelers. Offense continues to struggle here on the road in our last preseason game. As Goff got sacked on 3rd down there, as there is a pick by Walker, as he is taken down. What a great pick there. Ford on the coverage as well, as we force our first turnover of the game.
Throwing on 3rd down, here's Pickett. Escaping the pressure right.
As there's a sack from Brian Ford, as I was kind of trying to play on Najee, but make sure he didn't go anywhere, then finally decided to go get him. But a sack in the preseason for Brian Ford. Looked a little awkward, but we got him. So here we are back on the field here for the 3rd quarter of action. Offense actually missed a field goal, as there we are stuffing Najee. But offense did miss a field goal to open up their first drive.
Now Pickett.
As there's a big sack, and that one's picked up by Brian Ford. He's headed for the end zone, and Brian Ford is going to waltz in. Brian Ford with a scoop and score. Is what a hit on the quarterback, as Brian Ford scoops it up and takes it in. As what a strip sack there by, I don't even know who that was, but he'll give us our first touchdown as Brian Ford. There's a hit on the quarterback by Ford, but still a catch made by Deontay Johnson. Pickett somehow still got the throw off. As the Steelers once again knocking on the door, and they are 2nd and 2 from the 2. It's pretty much just 2nd and goal here, as that one is picked off in the end zone by Hughes. Hughes now gets a block. He's headed the other way. Hughes trying to outspeed the lineman as he gets pushed out at about the 39. What a play by Hughes. As I would just like to throw out real quick that I did say I would only be controlling Brian Ford for all of these games, and that is what I did right there on that interception. Whenever a play like that happens, I just simply put down the controller. So that is why. It obviously looks like I'm the one controlling it, but I am not. I promise you. I just literally let the CPU do its own thing on those situations. I would player lock on Madden, but I cannot stand the player lock camera, and also don't know how to change it. So if you can tell me how to change that, we will definitely get that fixed or whatever. But until then, I'm just going to keep playing defense the way I've been playing it, which is still only controlling Brian. But that will do it for episode 1 of the Brian Ford 3-Sport Career Mode. Please leave any suggestions you have for the series in the comments, whether it is new rules, more or less live commentary, or whatever else. I appreciate everyone for watching, as we will close with some lowlights from the Savior. No pants.